Yeah, so maybe quantity. Now we have all of these with us. Now, I want us to now get into the design aspect. How will the application come? Now, I'll start by proposing so that I keep the momentum. Number one, I propose that we welcome the user to the system. After welcoming the user to the system, we can give them the options, to do the following. Number one, we can give them the options to register if they are new users. Number two, we can give them the options to log in. And number three, we can give them the option to exit from the system. Is that okay? Now, what happens when they register? In the registration page, we can give them the options. Number one, we direct them on what to do. As we said, it's just simplistic to give you the momentum on Python. Direct them on what to do, and then you prompt them for the details, right? So you prompt them for the ID, the name, the years of experience, their password, and so on and so forth. After doing that, we go to the next stage, whereby perhaps you can, after prompting them for their details, you can tell them whether it was successful or not. Of course, it will be successful because it's a simplistic thing. However, when they register, you expect them to be taken back to the login page, right? You can decide to take them directly, but I'll propose we take them back to this menu. So we take them to the main menu, take them to the main menu. Now, what about login? So on the login page, we expect them you direct them on what to do. After directing them on what to do, you prompt them for their, let's say, email address and password. After prompting them for the email address and password, now you can do what? If accurate, you do what? You log them in. If not accurate, someone to propose what we do if they are not accurate? Anyone? If not accurate, what do we do?
Error.
Yeah, so you display an error message. Oh, I cannot do that here. It's okay. So you display an error message. After that, okay, let me propose. You take them back to the login page. So you display the login page again so that to give them a chance to give the correct credentials. What about when they're accurate? You log them in. By logging them in, I mean you take them to the food menu page so that they can now do the actions that they were proposing. Now, what happens in the food menu page? So we have food menu page. In the food menu page, you direct them on what to do. After directing them on what to do, you display the menu itself. Display the menu. So what does the menu contain? Anyone? Sample things the menu can contain?
Add food.
Good. Add food. What else? You can also propose to delete food, right? Something else, anyone?
Update.
Delete. Yeah, update food. Anything else? You can decide to view the foods available. What else? Now, I can propose that maybe you want this person to log out. So you can even give them an option of logging out right from here so that they are not locked down. You know, this one is not like a web interface whereby you click a button, then you're logged out. Here you have to craft it carefully so that you do not make the user feel constrained, right? And also you can give them an option of exiting. Now, the difference between logging out and exiting, Logging out, you take them back to the login page. But exiting, you close the system. Now, maybe we can break this down. We have a logout. So when they log out, we take them back to the login page. And when we exit, we shut down the system. Shut down the system. What about view foods? So we'll look into that, and add food. We'll look into that. I'm not sure whether the 2 hours will be able to accommodate for us going into add foods and delete food, and I don't want to go past the agreed time, so to encourage you maybe to come back, hopefully. Now, we are going to dive in right into the system. Since you have some basic knowledge, I'm going to be a little bit fast on the things that are simple, and then I'll stress on the things that I want you to understand. Now, I'm going to close this. It's called task.txt. It's a blueprint of what you're going to do. And now we are going to create our file called app.py. Remember, Python files end with .py. So here's where our code will be. However, I'll open the task.txt so that it acts as a guide. We say that the first thing is to welcome the user. So let me show you how I will do it. To welcome the user, you can decide to say print welcome to Opesi joint. A joint is a place where people can meet and eat. So a joint. So welcome to Opesi joint. You can put it like that, and you can actually run it, and it will run well. So I say Python 3 app.py, it will say welcome to Opesi joint. But you can be even more creative and make it better, right? So I'll come here and say, this is using, what data type is this, anyone? Just a small test. Data type?
String.
A string, good. So that's a string. Now, strings can be either double strings like that or single strings like that. So when I do it like that, is a single string, single string, yeah, quotation string. Now I can also make it better by having triple strings look like this. So anything that is between that is a triple quoted string. So it allows you to move to multiple lines like that without fear. So we are going to use that, and we are going to make it a little bit beautiful, yeah, perhaps. Now, I'm going to put something like that until there, and then I'm going to put something like that. Then I'm going to say, I'm going to put something like that. Then I say, welcome to Opesi joint. And then I'm going to do that until there. Yeah, that's okay. And then I'm going to do that. And then afterwards, I'm going to say, we serve the best or hottest African dishes in the Southern Sahara, perhaps. So that is what will be displayed. Now, for us to display it, we can display it directly, or we can assign it to a variable. It's a string after all. So we say welcome banner equals to that. That's the welcome banner. And then we say print welcome banner. So let's run it. So I'm going to say Python 3 app.py. So it says, you see now, it's in my opinion, it's better than what we had. It's better than the one we had, welcome to Opesi joint. So that's how you can use the triple quotations, just to show that. Now I'm going to remove that one, and I'm going to add a little bit. Now that you've gotten the gist, I'll do that. I'll do that, do that. I'll add like that. So this will be our format throughout. I'll add like that. No, that's not necessary. So we have that, welcome to Opesi joint. Now, we agreed on the next thing is to give the options to the user. So we are going to give the option to the user. Now, when you give the options to the user, we'll say, for instance, we can say we give the menu, right? We can decide to just put it there. So we say, select an item from the main menu, right? And then we give the items themselves. 1, 2, 3. So we say the first one was register. Number 2 was login. And number 3 was exit. So they have an option to exit. Then afterwards, we request them. You know how to take input from a user, right? Let me change this a little bit. Maybe for viewing. Now that is slightly better. Now I'm going to ask input from the user. Remember, we want to know what choice they have made. So I'll say choice equals to input, and then we say maybe enter your choice. Enter your choice. You have seen I've not just said enter your choice. I've put that on so that you have it clearer. So enter your choice. Now I can decide to print, then after entering their choice, now they select according to, now here's where we use the if statement. So if the choice is equal. Now remember, in the operators, we have different types of operators. We have this one which means equal to, we have this one which means not equal to, and we have this one, this is an assignment operator. The difference between these and these, this is a comparison operator. This other one is an assignment operator. Assignment, when you say name equals to Kamau, for instance. Or you can say age equals to 30, for instance. Assignment, however, you cannot say age is equals to Kamau in this case, because this is now comparison. And you cannot come and say a choice equals to 1. It will bring an error. So you make comparison. Do not forget that. In other languages, you can find that you have triple. No, we don't have that thing in Python. So in Python, it's just like that, the two of them. Now, I'm going to illustrate how we are going to make the choice. If the person has chosen number 1, what do we do if the person has chosen number 1? If the person has chosen number 1, we do something. So in this case, because maybe you have made something called pass. You see it highlighted? Pass means do nothing. So let's say you want to create something, but you have nothing to, you don't want to do it immediately, you write pass. In Python, we have something called elif. Elif means, in other languages, you can find is else if. So if this one does not happen, you go to the next one. So if he has not chosen one, you say elif choice is equals to 2, right? You do the pass. Elif choice is equals to 3. You do the pass. Else doesn't have anything like this. You just write else and you leave it at that. You go to the next line and you do whatever you want to do. So if the person has chosen 1, we need them to register. If the person has chosen 2, we need them to log in. If the person has chosen 3, we need them to exit. If the person has chosen 4, has chosen something else, 20, 300, blah, blah, blah. Now let's tell them, print, you have made an invalid choice. Please try again. You try to be courteous. Please try again, like that. Now I want you to run this. I want to run this program so that out of it you can learn some of the few mistakes. I would have been very happy. We would have been interactive, but we are in an online session, so I cannot ask you to try it on your machine. But hopefully we'll be able to do that in the near future. Now I'm going to close that, and then I'm going to run it. So Python 3 app.py. So enter your choice. You see now how, in my opinion, it looks good, yeah? So when you enter 1, what does it say? You have made an invalid choice. Please try again. That must be a mistake, yeah? Let's try it again. When you enter 2, you have made an invalid choice. What's not happening? Let's try it again. Number 3. You have made an invalid choice. Please try again. But it's not an accident. It is by design. Now, remember, when I print type choice, the type of choice has been made. Let's try it. When I print it, let's say we have chosen one. It's type string. You cannot compare a string with an integer. So we need to convert that into an integer. So what do? We come here, we add int right there. Okay, we would have chosen to say maybe we put here int like this to convert it into an integer. And then we do that, but there's no need. So you just do it early here. So you say int, we are taking only integer inputs. So int, enter your choice. Now, when they enter, when you try to run it, let me remove this blank line to avoid the linker. Now, when I run, when I say, or let's modify it a little bit. So let's here, when they choose one, we say print taking you to the registration page. When they choose two, we say print taking you to the login page. When they choose three, you can say print taking you to the, okay, exiting from the system, exiting like that. Now let's try it so that we know if it was by design or it was an error on my end. When I do Python 3, when I say 1, taking to the registration page. When I choose 2, taking to the login page. When I choose 3, taking to the exiting. Now, if maybe you are not aware of that you need to convert it into an integer, you'll have been stuck there and wondered, why is my program not running? What is not happening? I've done everything as it should, but now at least you know, right? Now, allow me to introduce something new. All right. Allow me to pick this code just a moment. Apologies for that. Please confirm that you can hear me.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes.
Okay, good. Now, we wanted if this person chooses 1 to do registration. So we are going to create a function for doing what? For handling registration. I'll create it up here. Now, always name your variables normally. So if it's a name of a person, call it name. Don't say X, don't say Y. So in this case, I'll call it registration page. Let's say, for instance, right? And then I'll put a pass. What did I say pass means? Anyone? Pass. Hello. Where are we? All right. So I said pass means when you have nothing to do, you just write pass. So we'll put pass, and here we'll come and replace it with registration page. So we make a function call. registration page. Wonderful. Now, we also have another one called def login page. Then you do a pass. The next one is exit program. Then you do a pass. Is that okay? That is how we declare functions. Then here, where we were supposed to do the choice 2 login page, so you call the function login page. And where we were supposed to exit program, you write exit program. Is that okay? Anyone has a question till there? Anyone has a question? If you are understanding, please do a reaction so that I know we are together.
So a colon means there's a continuation. It's not like these other languages where you use semicolon.
Yes?
You see, for example, when you're doing else if, then you put a colon. Hello?
Okay, speak now.
I'm saying when you put, let's say for example, if choice is equals to 1, then you put a colon. Then you write registration page. There's no semicolon needed to, let's say, note that this is the end of the statement.
Yeah, Python, we don't use semicolons.
And what's the function of that colon?
Now, if you remember in C++, we usually do like this. Let me show you. Is it not reacting? Our meeting will end soon, but no problem. You'll just log in using the same link after 30 seconds. Now, in C++, if you remember, or which language are you conversant in?
Yeah, C++ is okay, or Java.
All right, let's say Java. So in Java, if you did something, you'll say if choice is equals to 1 or 2, and then you'll do something like this. Do you remember that? Then you'll do your own things here.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah. Yes.
Now, in Python, to indicate that this is a block for that if statement, you put a colon, and anything that is belonging to this if statement must be within that indentation. We call it indentation. If I remove it and put it like this registration is no longer part of this selection of if choice equals to 1. But the moment I put it like that, it becomes part of it.
Yeah, I've understood you.
Okay, great. So my laptop audio is bad, so I use my phone for audio, then my laptop for presentation. Anyway, so now that we have that, that is how we call the function. There's no need for semicolon. There's no need for braces. So if you put a semicolon, the interpreter will not accept it. Now, what were we supposed to do in the registration page? Anyone? Or let me just highlight it. In the registration page, so you are supposed to direct them on what to do, prompt them for their details, and tell them whether they're successful or not, and take them to the main menu. I'm going to do that. So here, I'll say registration banner equals to triple quotations, and then I come on here and say like that, perhaps. Let me move this one. And then right from there, I do that. And then I come and say, manager registration page. Perhaps we did too much. Maybe you can reduce it. Let me check. Yeah, that's okay. No, one. Then we do that. So now we have this manager registration page. Let me go to the end. and do that. And let me go to this other end and do that. This will be better for consistency. And do that, do that, and do that. Now we have our registration page. The next step is to direct them on what to do. So we can tell them if you don't have an account, create one here, right? You can do that. Create one here. Then you, let's say, let's put it some styling until there, that's okay. Then we move to the other end like that, you do that. Then after saying that, maybe I can come and finish like that. You don't have an account, create one here. Then you can give them the menu. So number one, sorry, not like that. So you can tell them, fill in the requested details. I wish we had remote control so that you can maybe type it on my computer, but it's okay. So the first step is to request them for their, let me copy this, 6YY GTP. Now, the first step is to request them for their manager ID. So manager ID, which data type is it? Manager ID?
Integer.
Integer, good. So we say manager ID equals to, and how do we ensure it is an integer? Anyone?
The int.
Yeah,
what?
int. So we say int, then input. Ensure that your prompt is good so that they know what they are doing. So enter your manager ID. After doing that, we can come here and say, the next one is name. Name equals to input is a string, so you just put it directly. Enter your full name. The next one is years of experience. So you can say years of experience. You see, I'm not saying years. I'm being explicit on what I'm trying to say. Years of experience, int, input, enter your years of experience. Now, the next one is password. So password, I say input, enter your password. Then the next one is email address equals to input, enter your email address. In this case, typing is cheaper than copying and paste. That's why I'm typing. So for number equals to, let's put it as a string so that it can support the Akina plus and so on. So enter your phone number.